There is a place inside you that no sound can reach, no thought can disturb it, no fear can stain it, no desire can chase it away. It's not hidden in the future. It's not waiting for your next victory or spiritual high. It's here now beneath the noise of your own mind, waiting for you to remember it. You felt it before. Perhaps between two breaths, when you looked at the sky and forgot who you were supposed to be. Perhaps in the middle of pain, when everything collapsed and suddenly there was only stillness, a silence so vast that even your sorrow bowed before it. That silence, that infinite quiet, is not emptiness. It's the very fabric of consciousness, the dimension beneath all dimensions. And the question is, can you live from there? We are a species addicted to noise, the noise of becoming, of scrolling, of seeking the next idea that will fix us. But every time you seek another answer, you move further from the one that has always been here, waiting behind the searcher. The physicist Niels Bohr once said, "Every great and deep difficulty bears in itself its own solution. It forces us to change our thinking in order to find it." Silence does the same. It doesn't solve problems. It dissolves the mind that creates them. You see, in quantum physics, the smallest particles are not really things. They are probabilities, waves of potential waiting for observation to give them form. This is the secret rhythm of existence, the dance between silence and manifestation. Before you observe, there is silence, pure potential. When you observe, there is sound, the vibration of form, the noise of life. And yet, both arise from the same field. You could say that consciousness is the ultimate field, the silent, unseen ground from which every quantum event emerges. Einstein once said, "The field is the only reality." But the mystics added, "You are that field." If that is true, if your awareness itself is the fabric of the field, then the silence within you is not a retreat from reality, but a return to it. The real you isn't a thought, an emotion, or a memory. The real you is the observer, the still awareness behind it all. And yet, how rarely we stop to feel it. We rush through moments, measuring life in notifications and deadlines, waiting for something to begin when the miracle was already unfolding in every breath. The noise of becoming blinds us to the silent intelligence that is always here, whispering in quantum language, shaping galaxies and neurons alike. Right now, beneath the chaos of your thoughts, there is a silence older than time. It is not absence. It is presence in its purest form. Eckhart Tolle called it the space in which everything happens. David Bohm called it the implicate order, the hidden wholeness from which all reality unfolds. Different languages, same truth. The more you listen to this silence, the more it begins to speak, not in words, but in knowing, not in arguments, but in alignment. This is what I call dimensional silence, the awareness that exists beneath your identity, beneath your history, beneath your thoughts. It's the quantum stillness behind all waves of emotion and motion. And when you enter it, you begin to experience life not as a sequence of problems, but as a single, breathing, coherent field of meaning. But you can't think your way into dimensional silence. You have to stop. Not stop breathing, not stop living, but stop interpreting everything through the filters of your mind. In that stopping, a miracle happens. The observer and the observed merge. You cease to chase life and begin to be life. You see, in the quantum world, observation doesn't just describe, it creates. The observer effect shows us that the act of observation collapses potential into reality. What if your mind works the same way? Every judgment, every label, every conclusion collapses the infinite possibilities of this moment into one limited version of reality. That's what most people call normal life. But what if you could stop collapsing reality too soon? What if, instead, you could rest in the silent field of potential long enough for a higher version of your life to emerge? That's what the mystics mean when they speak of surrender. That's what physicists touch when they speak of superposition. It's not passive, it's creation in its purest form. When you enter silence without trying to manipulate it, you align with the intelligence that moves worlds. And maybe this is why you're here, listening to these words. Because something inside you is tired of the noise. Something in you already knows that the next level of your life won't come from doing more, but from becoming less distracted, less divided, less caught in the echo of your own mind. Here, on this channel Cosmic Signal, we open the question, how to unlock dimensional silence within you. Not as an idea to believe in, but as a state to inhabit. Because there is a silence that doesn't mean absence, it means access. Access to coherence. Access to intelligence beyond intellect. Access to the same creative field that designed the stars. Carlo Rovelli once wrote that time itself is not what we think, that what we call now is only a thin slice of a vast relational fabric. But what if that vastness is not just out there, among the galaxies? What if it's inside you? What if every time you become truly still, you touch the timeless? And what if that is what changes everything? You are not here by accident. You are part of the experiment the universe is conducting upon itself. Consciousness looking back into consciousness, learning to remember its own infinite nature through the lens of form. When you find silence, you become the quantum observer, and every cell in your body begins to resonate differently. Heart and brain fall into coherence. Energy organizes around your stillness. The field responds. You begin to tune your life instead of fighting it. So let this be your first experiment tonight. Close your eyes. Feel your breath without controlling it. Now, don't look for silence. Just notice what remains when you stop naming what you feel. That subtle space, the presence that doesn't change, that's it. That's dimensional silence touching you back. Do not underestimate its power. It may feel like nothing, but from this nothing, everything emerges. The same nothing that birthed the universe is breathing inside your chest. In that stillness, every future is possible. You are no longer bound by the inertia of thought. You stand at the threshold where matter becomes mind, and mind becomes light. Stay here. Don't rush. Let your nervous system remember what wholeness feels like. Because in that remembering, your external reality begins to shift. You're no longer reacting, you're resonating. And resonance is creation. Most people will skip this. They'll think silence is too simple, too soft, too small. But you're still here. And that means you've already begun the unlocking. In the stillness, your heart begins to remember the language the mind forgot. It doesn't speak in sentences, it speaks in frequency. Every beat of your heart sends a wave of electrical information throughout your entire body. But when the mind is anxious, that rhythm becomes chaotic. When you return to silence, the rhythm becomes coherent. Science calls it heart-brain coherence, a state where your heartbeat and your brain waves begin to harmonize, aligning into a pattern that looks almost like a cosmic tide. And in that tide, the body begins to heal. Thought becomes clear. Energy becomes whole again. This isn't magic, it's physics. Every electromagnetic signal your heart emits is a tiny field of resonance, and that field extends several feet beyond your body. In that sense, you are not inside your body. Your body is inside your field. So when you unlock dimensional silence, you are not escaping the world. You are tuning your field to the frequency of creation itself. You stop trying to attract and begin to attune. This is what Neville Goddard hinted at when he said imagination creates reality, because imagination is not fantasy, it's field alignment. When your inner frequency matches the pattern of what you wish to live, reality must rearrange itself. But you can't fake that coherence. You can't wish your way into it. You have to feel your way into it. And the doorway is silence. When the noise of resistance quiets, your heart begins to speak again. And what it says is simple. You are safe now. You are home. Now, you can begin. From here, something miraculous starts to occur. You begin to perceive not one future, but many. Infinite potential timelines vibrating in superposition, waiting for your awareness to choose. In quantum physics, every particle exists in many possible states until observed. This isn't abstract theory. It's the fundamental principle of creation. You, too, exist in superposition. There are infinite versions of you. One that chose courage, one that chose fear, one that never even tried. And at every moment, your consciousness collapses one of those possibilities into your lived reality. So when you enter dimensional silence, what you're really doing is pausing the collapse. You stop choosing unconsciously. You step back into the uncollapsed field, the infinite potential of what you could become. Most people are collapsing the same timeline again and again because they never stop. They never enter silence. They wake up thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, repeating the same choices. And so, they live the same day in different disguises. But when you practice silence, you begin to sense the invisible forks in your path. You can feel when something in you wants to repeat the old frequency. And instead of reacting, you breathe. You return to stillness. And in that stillness, you choose differently. This is what the Buddha meant when he said, "In the seeing, just the seen." No judgment, no identification, just awareness. Awareness that changes everything. In the cosmic field, every choice is like a pebble dropped into a lake. The ripples move outward, affecting all matter. So imagine what happens when your choice emerges from silence, from coherence, from peace. It doesn't just affect you, it harmonizes the field around you. John Wheeler called it the participatory universe, the idea that the universe is not a machine running independently of us, but a living field responding to the participation of consciousness itself. You are not an observer of the universe, you are a participant in its unfolding. This is why your silence matters. Because every thought, every emotion, every vibration you emit becomes a subtle form of participation in creation. Noise creates distortion, silence creates coherence, and coherence creates reality. When you drop into silence deeply enough, something extraordinary happens. The boundary between you and the world begins to dissolve. You feel not that you are in the universe, but that the universe is appearing in you. This is the quantum realization that mystics and scientists have circled for centuries from opposite sides of the same mystery. Alan Watts once said, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at itself." And David Bohm wrote, "Consciousness and matter are not separate substances, but different aspects of the same flowing movement." They were both pointing toward the same truth, that your stillness is not a void, but the source code of all manifestation. When you rest in dimensional silence, your nervous system begins to synchronize with this cosmic movement. You stop being an isolated self trying to survive, and become a coherent expression of the whole. In that moment, there is no gap between thought and manifestation, between wish and world. There is only flow. But the ego resists this silence. It fears stillness because stillness exposes its illusion of control. It whispers, "Don't stop, you'll lose everything." Yet the opposite is true. In silence, you lose only the false and regain everything real. There is a kind of listening that happens here, not with ears, but with being. It's as if the universe begins to speak in your own thoughts, not as commands, but as resonance. You'll start to notice synchronicities, a line you read, a voice you hear, a moment that mirrors what you silently knew. This is not coincidence. This is coherence. When your internal signal matches the frequency of the universal field, information flows freely. You become what physicist David Bohm called a coherent fragment of the whole movement. You stop forcing outcomes. You start receiving guidance. Receiving is not passive. It's active surrender, a delicate balance between awareness and allowance. Most people block this flow because they think too loudly, but silence reopens the channel. Try this. Before you act, pause, place your hand on your heart. Breathe until the tension in your chest softens. Now, ask the question you've been holding. Then wait. Don't rush to answer it with thought. Wait until a response arises not as an idea, but as a quiet knowing. That knowing, that gentle nudge, is the intelligence of the field responding through you. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Your life begins to unfold as if it's being guided from within. Decisions that once caused anxiety now emerge with clarity. Situations that felt chaotic begin to align with ease. It's not that the world changes, it's that your frequency stops distorting it. Silence is not the absence of creation, it's the birthplace of creation. Every manifestation begins here, in the gap between thought and form, in the zero-point stillness of being. The ancient mystics called it the void. Modern physics calls it the quantum vacuum, the field of pure potential from which particles blink in and out of existence. Different words for the same mystery. In that vacuum, everything you could ever become already exists as probability. The only question is, which frequency will you stabilize into reality? And this is where practice becomes power. The more time you spend in dimensional silence, the more you begin to stabilize higher frequencies of being. Frequencies of love, of coherence, of clarity. They become your new baseline. From there, new realities begin to appear naturally, without struggle, without force. Because creation was never meant to be struggle. It was meant to be resonance. When silence becomes familiar, the real work begins. Not the work of adding more, but the work of integrating what you've already seen. Inspiration is easy. It's electric, fleeting, intoxicating. Integration is quiet. It's invisible, cellular. Inspiration fills the mind. Integration rewires the field. That's why so many people awaken for a moment, only to fall back into sleep. They confuse the spark for the fire. They taste silence once and call it enlightenment. But silence isn't a destination. It's a dimension you must live from. To live from silence means to meet the noise of life without losing coherence. It means to walk through chaos without becoming chaotic. It means to stay awake while the dream continues. This is not about escaping your human story. It's about letting the light of awareness breathe through it. Every time you bring stillness into an ordinary moment, you collapse a new level of being into form. This is what I call the next step collapse. The moment when the quantum potential of who you could become meets the courage of who you choose to be. It doesn't happen in grand awakenings. It happens in micro decisions, when you choose patience over reaction, when you breathe before speaking, when you return to coherence after being triggered. Each act is a signal, a new frequency broadcast into the field, and the field listens. The universe, like a great mirror, reorganizes itself around your signal. You see, everything in existence operates on resonance. Atoms, stars, galaxies, all dancing to the same underlying music. When you act from coherence, your choices vibrate in harmony with that music. Reality flows, paths open. What you once called coincidence becomes orchestration. But the mind resists this fluidity because it can't control it. It wants guarantees, proof linear steps. And yet, the field doesn't speak that language. It speaks in patterns, in symbols, in timing. So the moment you try to force the next step, you collapse the wave too soon. This is the art of the next step collapse, learning to let life reveal its sequence rather than trying to dictate it. You don't need to see the whole path. You only need to align your signal. When you're coherent, the next step always appears, as if reality itself leans closer to meet you. When you're incoherent, even the clearest path dissolves into confusion. So don't chase clarity, chase coherence. Clarity follows coherence like light follows dawn. This is where trust becomes the bridge between the known and the infinite. Trust is not naive hope, it's quantum alignment. It's knowing that the same intelligence that spins galaxies is guiding your smallest movements. You may not always understand it, but you can feel it. That subtle pull toward what feels alive, what feels true, what feels like home. That's the universe speaking through intuition. The physicist Roger Penrose spoke of orchestrated objective reduction. The idea that consciousness may influence how quantum possibilities collapse into physical reality. If this is true, then every moment of awareness literally shapes the world. And that means your silence is not passive, it's participatory. Your trust is not blind, it's creative. When you move in trust, your life becomes a living experiment in co-creation. Every step you take, the field responds. Every act of surrender, the universe rearranges. You begin to see patterns where chaos once lived, meaning where randomness once ruled. This is what it means to be awake, not to escape the dream, but to dream consciously. To play your role with full awareness that you're both actor and author. Alan Watts called this the cosmic play. He said, life is not a problem to be solved, but a dance to be danced. In silence, you begin to feel that rhythm. You stop treating existence like a test and start experiencing it as a conversation. You realize that every obstacle is a disguised invitation to expand your signal. Every delay, every loss, every frustration, all part of the choreography designed to refine your coherence. The universe doesn't withhold your manifestations. It harmonizes your frequency first. This is why patience is power. Patience is not waiting, it's sustained coherence. It's the refusal to let temporary appearances collapse your inner field. The moment you react, you send noise into the signal. The moment you breathe, you restore harmony. Try this practice. When confusion arises, don't rush to fix it. Instead, return to silence. Breathe into your chest until the mind softens. Then ask, quietly, what is this moment teaching my frequency? You'll feel a subtle shift, a widening, a sense that even this is part of the design. That shift is integration. You're no longer chasing the next inspiration hit. You're becoming the frequency that no longer needs one. This is mastery, and it's subtle, because the deeper you go into silence, the less you need to prove anything. The ego starts to dissolve not in battle, but in recognition. You see that it was never the enemy, just a temporary pattern, an echo of survival now fading in the light of awareness. You realize that silence doesn't destroy the self, it refines it. It doesn't erase your individuality, it harmonizes it with the universal pattern. In that harmony, the old wounds begin to lose gravity. The loops of shame, doubt, and unworthiness begin to unravel. You stop needing to become someone else and start remembering who you already are, the silent field in human form. Gautama Buddha called it nirvana. Nisargadatta Maharaj called it the I am. Einstein called it the field. Different languages, one experience, the dissolution of separation into the awareness of oneness. And yet, this oneness isn't abstract. It's alive in every detail. The hum of a refrigerator, the sound of rain, the pulse of your wrist. Each vibration is the field whispering, I am here. To hear it, you must slow down enough to feel its rhythm. The modern world trains us to seek activation, stimulation, acceleration, but evolution moves toward awareness, not speed. Silence is the next step in our evolution, not a retreat, but an upgrade. It's how consciousness learns to self-regulate, to self-heal, to self-create. When you practice silence daily, even for 5 minutes, your nervous system begins to adapt. The brain's beta waves slow into alpha and theta. The hemispheres synchronize. You begin to think less and perceive more. Intuition strengthens. Timing improves. Reality responds faster because you are no longer sending mixed signals. This is the essence of dimensional silence, coherence in motion, not escaping the world, but transforming your relationship with it through the stillness of presence. And when you reach this point, something remarkable occurs. You begin to trust the unfolding, even the parts that make no sense. You understand that uncertainty is not chaos. It's creative potential. The field loves uncertainty because uncertainty is where infinite futures are born. So stop trying to control what's coming. Instead, deepen your signal. Become so coherent in your stillness that the next reality can't help but find you. This is how masters move. Effortlessly, silently, in rhythm with the unseen. They don't chase miracles, they stabilize them. And the universe, recognizing its own signature, opens the way. When silence becomes your home, creation begins to move differently through you. You are no longer the one pushing reality forward. You are the one reality moves through. And the more you surrender to that movement, the more it reveals its intelligence. An intelligence vast, intricate, and unspeakably gentle. This is the real secret. You don't unlock dimensional silence by effort. You unlock it by remembrance. You've never been separate from it. You've simply been tuned to the wrong frequency, the frequency of noise, fear, resistance. When you retune yourself to stillness, you rediscover the primordial hum that birthed galaxies. In quantum cosmology, it's said that the universe began not with a sound, but with symmetry breaking, a shift in the field that created form. Before the bang was perfect stillness, infinite potential balanced in absolute coherence. That stillness is not gone. It's right here, inside you. It never left. The silence you touch in meditation is the same silence that existed before time began. And when you rest in it, you are touching eternity from within time. Imagine that, eternity, breathing through you right now. Every inhale, a universe forming. Every exhale, a universe dissolving. You have always been part of this rhythm. You just forgot to listen. You are the silence dreaming itself into form. And once you know that, fear loses its foundation. Because how can silence fear its own echo? Everything you've been chasing, peace, clarity, abundance, purpose, all of it is already encoded in the field. You don't have to create it, you have to allow it. The more you relax into coherence, the faster reality reorganizes. This is what mystics meant by effortless manifestation. It's not about thinking harder, it's about being Every time you fall silent, you help the world attune itself. You become a stabilizing point in the collective field, a node of coherence in the human grid. And though you may never see the ripples, they are real. They move through hearts, cities, continents, invisible waves of alignment seeded by your stillness. This is the highest form of service. Not preaching, not convincing, not converting, but embodying the frequency of silence so fully that others remember it in themselves. That's how transformation spreads, not by noise, but by resonance. You don't have to tell people to wake up. You just have to be awake. Your presence does the rest. This is how a new world begins, quietly, invisibly, through millions of beings remembering their stillness at once. And maybe, if you're hearing this now, it's because you were meant to be one of them. Not by coincidence, but by calling. Because timing is not random in a participatory universe. The field brings you to what you're ready for. So if you've come this far, if something in you has stayed, don't take it lightly. This is your signal. You were not drawn here for entertainment. You were called here for activation. To remember that silence is not absence, it's access. Access to dimensions of awareness that alter the way reality responds to you. Access to the intelligence that has been waiting for you to slow down enough to hear it. So tonight, or tomorrow, or whenever you feel lost again, return here, not just to this voice, but to your own, to the sound before sound, to the silence within sound. Sit for 5 minutes, 10, whatever you can. Let your breath settle. Feel the edges of your awareness expand until your body dissolves into space. Then feel that space hum, alive, sentient, aware of you. That hum is your true identity. That hum is home. The more you visit it, the more it visits you. Eventually, it stops being a practice and becomes a way of living, moving, speaking, creating, resting, loving, all from silence. And then, a shift happens so profound you can't unsee it. You realize you were never in the universe. The universe was always in you. Every atom of your being is a window through which the cosmos is looking back at itself. You are not a fragment trying to connect to the whole. You are the whole, temporarily pretending to be a fragment. And in the moment of that realization, you become free. Freedom is not escape. Freedom is the ability to stay in silence while life moves loudly around you. Freedom is the power to create from presence instead of reaction. Freedom is knowing that nothing real can be threatened because the real is silence itself. And that is what dimensional silence truly is. Not an experience, not a destination, but the eternal awareness that watches all dimensions come and go. It is what remains when all else fade. It is what you have been searching for behind every dream. It is what you are. So pause here, just for a moment. Breathe in the space between words. Feel the stillness rising behind this sound. Let it wash through you. Let it empty you. Let it remember you. Because this stillness is the answer to every question you've ever asked. It's not something to master. It's something to surrender to. And in surrender, you awaken to your true function in the cosmic order. To be a living bridge between silence and sound, spirit and form, nothing and everything. You are the universe remembering itself. You are the song of silence made flesh. And every time you return here, the field takes notice. It reorganizes around your awareness. It whispers, welcome back, creation can begin again. So stay with this awareness a little longer, because what's awakening in you right now is not a thought. It's the original intelligence that moves suns and atoms alike. It's the living proof that consciousness was never limited to the brain, or to time, or to space. It is infinite, and it is you. When the world feels It's the presence of the infinite. And the moment you remember that, you become a signal of coherence for everyone you meet. This is why we exist here, in this shared space called Cosmic Signal, because this channel is not just content, it's a field, a gathering of souls tuning together to remember what the noise of the world has made us forge. Every time you listen, every time you practice, you strengthen that field. You help build a collective resonance, a planetary coherence. You help the human story remember its still center. So if this silence has touched you tonight, if something deep inside has stirred, don't let it fade. Stay connected. Join this field. Be part of this unfolding awakening with us. Because the signal grows stronger when we remember together. You are not just listening to Cosmic Signal, you are the signal, and the universe is listening back. There is a silence that speaks in light, a silence that breathes between worlds. It waits in the space behind your heartbeat, patient, infinite, alive. When you rest there, the universe opens its eyes through you. Time softens, thought dissolves, only awareness remains. This is not an ending, it's a remembering. The moment you return home to what you've always been. So breathe, let the echo fade, let the stillness expand. Because even now, in this quiet after the words, something vast is awakening within you. A signal pulsing across dimensions, calling the silent ones home. You are that signal, you are that silence. This is Cosmic Signal, and the universe is listening.